The city bustled with its usual morning rush. People hurried to their jobs, coffee in hand, lost in their own worlds. On a busy sidewalk, an old man stumbled and fell, his bag of groceries spilling across the concrete. Cars whizzed by, and pedestrians simply walked around him. A few cast curious glances. Some shook their heads, but most didn't even seem to notice. He was invisible, a minor inconvenience in their perfectly scheduled day. He tried to get up, his hands trembling as he reached for the edge of a planter, but his legs wouldn't cooperate. A wave of dizziness washed over him, and he slumped back down, defeated. For what felt like an eternity, he lay there, the world moving on without him. Then a voice, soft and gentle, cut through the noise. "Sir, are you all right?" He looked up to see a young woman kneeling beside him. Her name was Clara, and she worked as a waitress at a small diner nearby. She wasn't wealthy or powerful, but she had a heart full of compassion. She didn't see an obstacle. She saw a human being in need of help. "Let me help you," she said, her smile warm and reassuring. With surprising strength, she helped him to his feet and guided him to a nearby bench. His knee was scraped and bleeding from the fall. Without a second thought, Clara opened her own handbag. She pulled out a small first aid kit she always carried, a habit from her clumsy childhood. She gently cleaned the wound with an antiseptic wipe and carefully applied a bandage. The old man, whose name was Arthur, watched her, his eyes filled with a mixture of surprise and gratitude. He hadn't expected such kindness. "Thank you, my dear," he said, his voice a little shaky. "You didn't have to do that." Clara just smiled. "Of course, I did. Anyone would have." But they both knew that wasn't true. She then started gathering his spilled groceries, placing the apples and the loaf of bread back into his bag. She noticed a carton of milk had burst, so she insisted on buying him a new one from the corner store. Arthur tried to refuse, fumbling for his wallet, but Clara was firm. "It's my treat," she insisted. "Please, let me." They sat on the bench for a while longer, Clara making sure he felt steady enough to walk. They talked about simple things, the weather, the changing leaves, the best place to get a good cup of tea. She told him about her dream of one day opening her own small bakery. She spoke with such passion, describing the cakes and pastries she would create, her eyes sparkling with hope. Arthur listened intently, a thoughtful expression on his face. He saw not just a dreamer, but a doer, a person with a genuine spirit and a strong work ethic. He felt a connection to this young woman, a sense of warmth he hadn't felt in a long time. Finally, Arthur felt strong enough to head home. He thanked Clara again, more sincerely this time. "You have a very kind heart," he told her. "The world needs more people like you." As he walked away, Clara felt a quiet sense of satisfaction. She hadn't helped him for a reward. She had done it because it was the right thing to do. She returned to her job at the diner, the encounter leaving a gentle smile on her face for the rest of the day. She thought of the old man and hoped he was okay, but soon the demands of her busy shift pushed the memory to the back of her mind. A few days later, a sleek black car pulled up in front of the small diner where Clara worked. A man in a sharp suit stepped out and walked inside, asking for her by name. Clara's heart skipped a beat. She worried she was in some kind of trouble. Her boss pointed her out, and the man approached her table. "Miss Clara?" he asked politely. "My name is David. I'm Mr. Arthur's personal assistant. He has requested your presence." Clara was stunned. Mr. Arthur, the old man from the sidewalk, she couldn't imagine why he would send for her. Hesitantly, she agreed. The ride in the luxurious car was surreal. They drove to the tallest, most impressive building in the city, the headquarters of a massive corporation she had only ever seen in magazines. This was the empire built by Arthur Sterling, a name synonymous with success and power, though very few people knew what he actually looked like. He was notoriously private, a recluse who hadn't been photographed in decades. As Clara was escorted into the penthouse office, a sprawling space with panoramic views of the city, her jaw dropped, and there he was, sitting behind a large mahogany desk. It was Arthur, the old man from the sidewalk, but he was no longer dressed in simple, worn clothes. He wore an impeccably tailored suit, his posture confident and commanding. He stood up and smiled, that same warm smile she remembered. "Clara," he said, "thank you for coming. Please sit down." Clara was speechless. The kind, frail old man she had helped was Arthur Sterling, one of the wealthiest and most influential men in the country. Arthur explained everything. He told her that for years he had felt disconnected from the world he had built. Surrounded by people who only wanted his money or his influence, he had grown cynical. He had started taking walks through the city, dressed as an ordinary person, just to feel normal again, to see if there was any genuine goodness left in the world. That day, he said, his voice filled with emotion, I had almost given up hope. Dozens of people walked past me. No one cared. And then you came along. You didn't see a rich man or a poor man. You just saw someone who needed help. He continued your kindness, your simple, unselfish act. It reminded me of what truly matters. It's not about buildings or profits. It's about people. It's about compassion. Clara listened, tears welling in her eyes. She couldn't believe what she was hearing. You told me about your dream. Art who went on a twinkle in his eye. A bakery, a place where you could share your passion with others. He slid a folder across the desk towards her. I want to be your first investor. Clara opened the folder. Inside were legal documents, a business plan, and a check with an amount so large it made her head spin. It was more than enough to not just open a bakery, but to create the bakery of her wildest dreams. I can't accept this, she stammered, overwhelmed. It's too much. Arthur shook his head. This isn't a gift, Clara. It's an investment. I'm investing in you, in your character, your heart, and your talent. I have no doubt you will be incredibly successful. In that moment, Clara's life changed forever. But more than that, she had changed Arthur's life, too. Her one small act of kindness had melted the heart of a lonely billionaire and reminded him of the power of human connection. Clara did open her bakery, and it became a beloved spot in the city. Famous not just for its delicious pastries, but for its warmth and generosity. She made sure to always have a pay-it-forward board, where people could buy a coffee or a meal for someone in need. Arthur became a regular customer and a dear friend. He found joy not in his balance sheets, but in sitting in Clara's cozy bakery, watching her live out her dream, a dream he was proud to have helped build. Their story became a quiet legend in the city, a powerful reminder that you never know who you might be helping, and that a single act of compassion, no matter how small, has the power to change the world. It proves that the greatest rewards in life don't come from what we get, but from what we give. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content. Remember to be the reason someone believes in the goodness of people. See you in the next video.